In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Xbox Series 2 Elite controller. I'm going to be comparing it to the standard Xbox controller, as well as helping you decide whether or not it's worth picking up one of these Elite controllers in preparation for Black Ops 6. And finally, I'm going to be explaining why I'm personally returning my Elite controller after owning it for less than a week. So first off, what do you get in the box with the Elite Series 2 core controller? So upon opening the box, you're greeted with the Elite controller itself. It also comes with a nice braided USB-C cable for charging the controller. There's also an instruction manual as well as a small tool used to adjust the tension of the joysticks. So here we have the Elite controller Series 2 core. Now the main differences between the Elite Series 2 core and the standard Elite Series 2. The core controller is slightly cheaper, around £115 as opposed to £160. And by far the most noticeable difference is that the Elite core controller doesn't come with any of the accessories that the standard Elite controller would come with. So all of the various sizes and shapes of thumbsticks and rear paddles don't come included with the core controller, you have to buy them separately. But the real question is, what makes this an Elite controller and why is it twice the price of a standard Xbox controller? So the first thing you'll notice when you pick up an Elite controller is that the palm grips are now rubberized. So I would say that these rubberized palm grips do feel very nice in the hand. I mean, when compared to the standard Xbox controller, the Elite controller does feel more premium. It is going to be interesting to see how this rubber holds up over the next few months. Is it going to wear out or completely disintegrate? Who knows? Another difference with the Elite controller is the D-pad. The D-pad has quite an interesting design. It looks like a satellite dish and it's actually magnetically removable, which is quite an interesting design choice. Overall, I do quite like the feel of the D-pad on the Elite controller. I think it's fairly clicky, but I wouldn't say that it really feels any nicer than the D-pad on the standard Xbox controller. That's fairly clicky as well. Whoa, it's Leo from the future. If you are enjoying this video so far, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers and consider dropping a like if you are enjoying. Anyways, I won't interrupt you any longer. Let's get on with the video. I do quickly want to highlight something that I have noticed with the Elite controller is that because the D-pad is magnetically attached, I have noticed that it is a little bit wobbly. I'll try and show an example on video. The next party trick of the Elite controller is you can actually remove the joysticks on the Elite controller, which allows you to do two things. The first thing is if you buy the accessory pack, you are able to change out the style and size of the joysticks. The second thing this allows you to do is adjust the tension of the joysticks. So with the Elite controller, you're able to remove the joystick and then use the included tool, which looks a little bit like a SIM card ejector. You can use this tool to loosen or tighten the tension of the joysticks. There are 3 different modes. I do think that this is a very cool feature, but I did find that I tightened the joysticks to the firmest mode and just left it like that because that's what I preferred. There's also not a massive difference in the resistance between the 3 different modes. So if you were expecting to make the joysticks either really tight or really loose, then you might be disappointed. The amount of resistance found in the standard controller is probably equivalent to the middle setting on the Elite controller. It's also worth pointing out that the joysticks on the Elite controller are made out of metal, so they do feel more premium than the plastic joysticks of the standard controller. But the real question is, are the Elite controller's joysticks actually any nicer when it comes to gaming? And the answer is yes. In my opinion, the Elite controller joysticks do feel a bit nicer than the standard Xbox controller joysticks. The difference isn't massive, but I do prefer the slightly firmer preset on the Elite controller. And unfortunately, neither of these controllers feature Hall effect joysticks. So joystick drift is still going to be a problem on both of these controllers, and that's something that I'm going to talk about a little bit more later on in this video. The next upgrade found on the Elite controller that's not present on the standard Xbox controller are the triggers. So in the hand, the triggers and the bumper buttons of both the Elite and the standard Xbox controller feel almost identical, but the advantage with the Elite controller's triggers is that it comes with trigger stops. On the back of the controller there are 2 switches with 3 different modes. This allows you to adjust the level of travel of each of the triggers, and the benefit of a shorter trigger is that in certain games, especially competitive shooters, can bring a competitive advantage because you're able to press the trigger a bit quicker. On the back of the Elite 2 controller, there are some features that just aren't present on the standard Xbox controller. If you have a closer look at the back of the controller, there are 3 holes labelled P1, 2, 3 and 4. These holes allow you to add additional triggers which can look something like this. But unfortunately with the core variant of the controller, it doesn't come with the accessories, so I don't have any of them. I found that these additional buttons are beneficial if you're someone that uses claw grip, because it allows you to hold the controller normally and have access to the same number of buttons. The Elite 2 controller no longer has a share button, instead it has a profiles button. Using the Xbox Accessories app, you're able to save up to 3 presets onto this controller. Another major difference between these two controllers is the batteries. So obviously the standard Xbox controller uses AA batteries that you can remove from the back of the controller, whereas the Elite 2 controller has an inbuilt rechargeable battery, much like the PlayStation DualSense controller. But if you compare this Elite controller to the DualSense controller, this actually has double the battery capacity. This has just over 2000 milliamp hours. And Microsoft claim that you can get up to about 40 hours of battery life out of this controller, which is really impressive. So I next want to compare the quality of the buttons on these two controllers. So I'm going to pop them down and just press all the buttons on the front of the controllers to see which ones I prefer. So starting with the select and start button, they both feel almost identical. I wouldn't say one's better than the other. Moving on to the X, Y, A and B buttons. Yep, these both feel identical. I wouldn't say one feels better than the other. In fact, I've only found there to be one button between these two controllers that actually feels noticeably different, and that is the Xbox button. On the Elite controller, the Xbox button is clickier, whereas on the standard controller, it's a bit more mushy. But out of all of the buttons on these controllers, the Xbox button gets pressed the least, so it's probably the least important. But it is worth noting that the Xbox button on the Elite controller, you can actually change the color of it using the Xbox accessory app, which is pretty cool. So finally, I want to talk about why I'm going to be returning my Elite 2 controller after only owning it for a couple of days. So I've owned my Xbox Series X for just over 2 years now, and since owning this console, I've managed to go through 4 different controllers, and I've never managed to get more than a year out of a single controller, which is very disappointing. The main issue I've been having with these controllers is joystick drift. The joystick mechanisms must be made out of cheese. They just do not last very long, which is very disappointing. So I've definitely been having reliability issues with the standard Xbox controller, so that's why I decided to try something different. It was probably the wrong choice to try out the Elite controller because the mechanism behind the joystick is exactly the same, because on paper it's sold as Microsoft's Pro controller and it has got metal joysticks, so in my head for some reason I thought it would be more reliable. Unfortunately, Microsoft hasn't adopted the superior Hall effect mechanism, which uses magnets and is very resistant to joystick drift. So the reason I'm returning this Elite controller only a couple of days after buying it is the fact that it has developed a fault. Fortunately, it isn't joystick drift, but either the triggers or the D-pad have started glitching. So this is what happens when I hook this controller up to my Xbox. The main menu just glitches out. If anyone's got any ideas what the cause of this problem is, feel free to leave it in the comments section below. So I think once I've returned this controller, I'm probably going to get a third-party controller, one with Hall effect joysticks, because I know there are quite a few third-party controllers to choose from. So if anyone's got any suggestions on third-party Xbox controllers, leave them in the comment section below. So that was my quick rant on Microsoft controller reliability. If you've had similar experiences, let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, in conclusion, should you pick up an Elite controller Series 2 in 2024, or should you save some money and pick up a standard Xbox controller or get a third-party controller? At the end of the day, it all depends whether or not you're going to take advantage of the features that the Elite controller has to offer. In the hand, it does feel fairly similar to the standard Xbox controller, so if you're not going to take advantage of the extra features offered by the Elite controller, you're probably better off just getting or sticking with the standard controller. But if you're someone that's going to take advantage of the adjustable trigger stops, and if you're someone that's quite keen to customize the joysticks, then that's a feature that's only available with the Elite controller, as well as the extra triggers that can be added to the back. If you're someone that's going to take advantage of that, then definitely look at the Elite controller. But for me, I'm not going to be using either of these controllers due to reliability. So unfortunately, I'm going to be looking for a third-party controller to use as my main Xbox controller. So if you've got any suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. Anyways, if you have got any questions regarding either of these controllers, leave them in the comment section below. So if you have enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, and I will see everyone in my next video.